WHBF is local for you. This is Local 4 News this morning.
Good morning, everybody, on this Friday morning. I'm Redrick Terry.
And I'm Alexandria Ikamoni. Thanks for waking up with us on Local 4 News this morning. Joins meteorologist Zane Satry. Zane, out there right now, nothing going on, but later today we have some rain.
Yeah, rain showers. They will be in the picture, just for the most part, not quite yet. Outside right now, of course, got those dark skies. Mainly dry conditions, though, here in the Metro Quad Cities. Very mild temperatures for 5 o'clock in the morning. 54 degrees, light breeze out of the south and east at 10 miles per hour. A few showers passed through during the overnight hours. You can see a couple of flecks of green on the radar picture. A few raindrops up in the clouds. Are mainly dry and mainly cloudy, though, at this point in the day. And we're still pretty mild across the entire QCA. Upper 40s, lower 50s, middle 50s, of course, here in the Metro QC. But sharp difference in temperatures. You head just maybe 100 miles, not even that, to the west. Cold front will be moving our direction. That'll bring us some colder air later today, and before that, a little bit of some rain as well. So before all of that, clouds, a few isolated showers as we go through the daytime hours. More of the rain, though, will fall later this afternoon and into the evening. Then we'll see temperatures that'll fall off later on tonight. We'll tell you how cool it can get and what the weekend's forecast looks like coming up in just a bit.
Also coming up, hundreds of thousands of people added to the list of people out of work in Iowa and Illinois. Why Governor J.B. Pritzker says his state is not as equipped as it should be to help.
Plus, feeling the impact in your pockets, how the pandemic is affecting both renters and landlords.
And from a cruise to a quarantine, what life is like for one local business owner during this pandemic, that's in our next half hour.
But first, we're getting started with the latest numbers on the coronavirus this morning. We now know that there are more than 1 million cases worldwide. More than 50,000 have died. The United States now has more than 240,000 cases. More than 6,000 people have died in the country. Italy has 115,000 cases and the highest death toll of nearly 14,000. Spain has more than 112,000 and more than 10,000 deaths.
And with the numbers continuing to rise, the Trump administration says it will soon release a recommendation about face masks. Some states are in critical need of supplies. John Lawrence reports.
The Trump administration says it'll soon release nationwide recommendations on wearing face masks during the COVID-19 pandemic.
I don't think they'll be mandatory because some people don't want to do that. But if people wanted, as an example on the masks, if people wanted to wear them, they can.
Some officials support the idea of people covering up.
It's more not to protect you from getting infected, but to protect a person from getting infected from you.
Others, like the World Health Organization, stress masks should be prioritized for healthcare workers.
These are people who are putting their lives on the line to help us, to care for other people, and they must be protected.
As the medical world deals with a constantly increasing number of infected patients, supplies are running low in some places.
At the current burn rate, we have about 6 days of ventilators in our stockpile.
New York is hardest hit with the most cases in the nation, but other states are also in need.
We are continuing to demand that this president step up and use his power and authority to help people in New Jersey and across this nation.
The president says the states could have helped their own cause by stocking up in advance.
It's like one of those things. They waited. They didn't want to spend the money because they thought this would never happen.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Some supplies are being donated to states. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft helped that state of Massachusetts buy more than 1 million N95 protective masks. He also brought 300,000 from New York as well. Meanwhile, Iowa reports 66 more people tested positive yesterday. That's now 614 for the state. 2 more people died as well. Both of them are older adults in Lynn County. 11 people have died from the disease in Iowa to date. Health experts say Iowa likely won't see cases peak for at least another couple of weeks.
4 new cases are in Scott County. That's now 25 for the county. Clinton County has 3 new cases. That's 9 total cases there. Another tested positive in Muscatine County for a total of 19. Cedar County has 2 more cases. The total there is 11.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds announcing updated restrictions in her daily COVID-19 briefing yesterday. She ordered schools stay closed through April 30th, but she has not recommended them to close for the rest of the school year.
Keeping Iowa students out of classrooms is a very difficult decision, but it remains necessary for now. We anticipate the number of positive COVID-19 cases in Iowa will continue to grow, and keeping schools closed for an extended amount of time will help protect the safety of our students, educators, and school staff, reduce the burden, flatten the curve on our healthcare system and workforce, and of course, reduce the risk to our most vulnerable Iowans and ultimately save lives.
Illinois reports 715 new cases yesterday. That's now roughly 7,700 total. 16 more people died in Illinois. The state's death toll is now nearly 160. One of the people who died is from Whiteside County. There are now 6 cases there after another case yesterday. Rock Island County confirms 2 new cases for a total of 21. Mercer and Lee counties reported their first case.
And the Lee County Health Department says it understands having a case in the county may cause people to be worried, but they say the development was not unexpected. Health Department Administrator Kathy Ferguson Allen told us we do not want residents to panic. She went on to say we do want them to continue to be vigilant and follow all the recommendations that they've been putting out the last several weeks.
Unemployment claims are still going up in Illinois. More than 178,000 people in Illinois applied for unemployment benefits for the first time last week. That's up from 114,000 from the week before, but many people are having trouble getting through. Governor J.B. Pritzker says the state's computer systems are overwhelmed and outdated.
This is the biggest onslaught of unemployment claims, I think, ever, at least in my lifetime, and even more so than the Great Recession of 2008, 2009. I want to remind you that the systems at IDES were actually rebuilt in 2010. Now, you might think, well, gee, then shouldn't they be running properly? Well, it's now 10 years later. Not a lot of investment was made in the state's IT systems in that last 10 years.
Claims in Iowa also went up. More than 58,000 filed new claims last week. That's up from about 42,000 from the week before.
5:07 now. Iowa Works is doing its best to help everyone who needs it. The employment agency has a website with information as well as a webinar explaining how to file an unemployment claim. Another way people can apply to receive assistance is through the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Security Act, or CARES Act.
Iowa Workforce Development is accepting applications for those impacted by the CARES Act, and those include self-employed folks, independent contractors, nonprofit employees, gig economy workers, or those requesting an extension of benefits.
The spokesperson says they are waiting to process people's applications once the Department of Labor provides more guidance for them.
A new month means rent and mortgage are due, and that's a big challenge for the millions out of work right now. David Skinner owns several properties in the Quad Cities. Several of his tenants aren't working right now. He doesn't know if he'll get rent from everyone. Skinner says his first move was to check on how they're doing, but he also is trying to figure out how to pay the mortgage.
At the same time, we're not expecting to collect all of it from everybody.
Right.
I mean, we're trying because our mortgages are still due. No bank has agreed to delay our mortgage payments.
There are resources for renters who are out of work and can't make payments. For example, the Salvation Army or the United Way's 211 hotline.
Right now, lots of small businesses are eager for financial assistance to keep their operations running. They can soon turn to loans and grants for relief now. Yesterday, the Quad Cities Chamber of Commerce hosted a virtual presentation to tell business owners about new financial assistance programs. They're accepting Paycheck Protection Program applications for businesses as soon as today. The Small Business Development Center is also offering help for preparing paperwork for programs that require full-time employment. He addresses what the standards are.
They're looking at full-time equivalencies to get to 32. So if you had 2 people working 16 hours each, that would count as 1 FTE.
SBDC offers small business owners resources for no charge and will help you get connected to them on our website, ourquadcities.com.
A business here plans to help bar and restaurant employees struggling during this pandemic. They've been limited to takeout and delivery service and only making a fraction of what they would normally. Now, Billy Bob's Bar in Rock Island is selling t-shirts that say QC Strong. Money from that will be used to buy gift cards and help pay bills for these workers.
We're not going to do this just for Billy Bob's. We're hoping that we can raise tens of thousands of dollars through this campaign, so we can help out people in Davenport, people in LeClaire, people in Sherrard that are in these restaurants and in these bars, not just bartenders, but bus staff, janitors, whoever's displaced right now in the Quad Cities that needs help. Hopefully through this campaign we can do that.
The t-shirt sale starts today and continues for the next 2 weeks.
5:10 now. A local coffee shop is shutting down in this crisis. Theo's Java Club in Rock Island will close its doors starting this weekend. The only other time it closed during its 26-year history came during blizzards. Theo's will close on Saturday, that's tomorrow, to avoid putting employees in harm's way.
We've been so thankful for all the people that have come down here for 26 years. And some of the original customers are still coming in. We're so appreciative, and we just can't say enough. And we just hope we can get back open as soon as possible and start serving again.
The owner says he does plan to reopen when it's feasible.
Well, Whitey's Ice Cream says it'll temporarily close all stores after 10 p.m. tonight. The Facebook post was all over social media, so naturally there were long lines at the drive-thru for that one last scoop. The Facebook post says the decision to close wasn't easy, but they're doing it to make sure their employees stay healthy and safe. Whitey says you'll still be able to buy their ice cream in grocery stores.
Moving away from coronavirus coverage, a man in Moline is under arrest today after he tried to run from police yesterday. He's 36-year-old Sean Lopez of Bettendorf. Police say he's now facing drug charges. Officers got called to the River Oaks apartments where someone reported seeing a suspicious car. Police pulled up to a truck at 12th Avenue and 24th Street. That's when officers say Lopez spotted them and took off. He's now being held on possession of methamphetamine and resisting arrest.
Every registered voter in Iowa will now get an absentee ballot request form in the mail. That's for the state primary scheduled for June 2nd. Forms will be sent sometime this month. Iowa Secretary of State recommends voting early by mail to reduce the risk of spreading the coronavirus. The mail-in voting period is now extended by 40 days. You can request absentee ballots now through May 22nd.
And that's just one example of how people across the country are relying on postal workers. The United States Postal Service says it's encouraging healthy behaviors and protocols, including hand washing and using sanitizer and additional cleaning of workspaces as well. They're asking customers to step back a safe distance or close the door when mail is delivered to practice social distancing. To reduce health risks, they're also temporarily modifying customer signature procedures.
Well, coming up, families getting help with an expensive item where parents can find a diaper bank in the Quad Cities. We'll tell you more in our next half hour.
And we're mild and mostly dry outside to start off Friday morning. Both of those things will actually change later on tonight. Will be a lot less mild and quite a bit less dry too. We'll time out the forecast here coming up on Local 4 News this morning.
WHBF is local for you with Frederick Terry, Alexandria Ikamoni, and meteorologist Zane Satry. This is Local 4 News this morning in high definition.